Member for Hastings.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. I rise to speak on the Drugs, Poisons and Controlled Substances Amendment Bill of 2024, or for those listening at home, the pill testing bill. I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to stand and speak today. My community elected me to be their voice at the table, and it's great to be here and express my views on their behalf. There's been a lot of really wonderful debates over the course of the last couple of days. I'd like to, and also debates with a rich lived experience feeling coming through. The member for Melton did a wonderful debate, the member for Frankston and also the member for Yan Yean, all told of their lived experience in pill testing and the dangers and the harm. And I thank them for being brave enough and courageous enough to bring that here in this chamber. I would like to assure the member for Brighton that when this bill passes, it is not a green light for drug use. I will not be running out to buy pills, nor will my wife or my children or their friends. I think that's just fear-mongering, and it's a shame that you bring that to this chamber. Unfortunately, I feel on this side of the chamber the debate has been really substantial, and on that side of the chamber the debate has been really disappointing. And the reason that it's been disappointing is that only what I heard on that side was that they have questions that haven't been answered, that they're concerned about things, but the problem is they've got it wrong. They've actually got their debate wrong on this pill testing bill. This bill is about a trial. And the interesting thing about a trial is you go to trial because you don't have all the answers. Because we need, apologies, Chair, a trial is about finding out answers to questions that we have, and then when you find those answers, you find other questions. So rather than debate the fact that we don't know what this trial is going to do, let's start saving lives. What a great idea. Let's start saving lives. You know, let's go and do the trial and find out what we need to do, what changes we need to make, how we can further save lives and keep our community, our children, our friends, our brothers and sisters safe. That to me makes sense. Pill testing or drug checking is not a new idea. It's not even been done new in the last decade. Pill testing has existed in Europe since the 1990s. The UK conduct the practice, Canada, Netherlands, and our friends across the ditch in New Zealand. Also at home in the ACT and I believe Queensland. Is that correct? Incoming, good. The fact is, in a perfect world, no one would take drugs. But the fact is, people do take drugs, and we can't really stop them. We can scream about, how dangerous they are, that they're illegal, but people don't really care about that. But that doesn't mean we can just let them die in the ditch at some musical festival, member for Brighton. People are prepared and will always be prepared to take the risk. They've always done that from time immemorial. And the truth is, if we want to stop people taking drugs, we've got to stop drugs. We've got to stop drugs. Maybe that's a better idea, member for Brighton. The fact is, our police forces work incredibly hard to stop illegal drugs coming into our country. Our police forces, both federal and state, work incredibly hard to stop people manufacturing illegal drugs in our state and in our country. And basically, it's impossible. If it was possible, we would have done it already. So there's an alternative to that. And that is that we protect those and help those make better informed decisions about whether they want to take illicit drugs or not. I am reminded that no matter how hard we work, we still have illicit and illegal drugs in jail, which is, you think would be one of the easiest places to stop. So we cannot continue to do the same thing. We have to try a different approach. And that's what this bill, and when it passes, that's what this trial will work towards. It's something different and it will save lives. So the question is, Does pill testing save lives? Well, we've heard in this chamber way too many stories about people who have passed away from taking drugs that could have been saved. The member for Yan Ying told a story yesterday about a young girl who went to a rave, had pills in her pocket, saw a sniffer dog, and in panic and fright took all her drugs and subsequently died. What a great idea, sniffer dogs. Let's have sniffer dogs instead of pill testing. Let's not. The fact is, as I've said, there will be people that will always take drugs. A report conducted by the ANU found that 2/3 of people who used a pill testing service had never discussed or sought advice about their drug use with a health professional. And now, because of pill testing, they do. They're given information. They're given the opportunity to make an informed choice. As I said, the fact is people will always take drugs. They're not thinking about the consequences. Maybe they're overly trusting of their drug dealer or the manufacturer, or they just don't care. However, there are a percentage of people that do care, that are concerned. And they know that the drugs are illegal, they're going out to have a good time, but in the backs of their minds they are concerned and wondering, is this safe to take? We're not giving them the opportunity to find out. We're giving them the opportunity for a sniffer dog to smell their drugs and then to send them to jail or to court or to ruin their lives. So we need to change that. I'm aware too that often people will buy some drugs and take it to a party, and they might actually buy some for their friend and give them. And I can tell you what, I certainly wouldn't want to have to live with the repercussions of if I bought some drugs for a good time at a rave and gave some of those drugs to my girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever, and they died. I couldn't imagine the horror of that. Additionally, most festival goers are attending with groups of friends. So if one of them has drugs, then quite likely some of the other friends have drugs, possibly from the same source, possibly not. So if one person in that group has the courage and perhaps the sanity to go and have their drugs tested, and they find out that it's not what they purported it to be, they can then tell their friends, who might not go and get their drugs tested, but if one person in the group does, and they find that there is something in that pill that shouldn't be, they're too strong or whatever, they then they can tell their friends, and their friends can have the choice of whether or not they wish to take those drugs. And so it's a multiplying safety. Of course, the best way to prevent death is not to take drugs, but I've said we live in a reality and people will take drugs regardless. So there are some facts that I would like people to have a look at. In 2023, the evaluation of the ACT drug checking service CanTest revealed that 53% of substances tested matched the expected drug, only 53%. A study of English festivals found the rate of on-site medical incidents and hospitalisations from accidental drug harm is significantly lower at festivals that provide pill testing. Police and medical services at the UK attributed a 95% decrease in drug-related hospital admissions to pill testing. 95%. There's a lot of other facts, but I also want to just talk about quickly that since 2021, 4 Victorian coroners investigated the deaths of 10 Victorians, and they've all recommended drug checking services. But let's think about it for a moment, please. 10 deaths. 20 grieving parents, 50 to 60 grieving siblings, 60 to 100 grieving extended family members, 200, 300, 400, grieving friends from work, sporting clubs, drama groups, local church, community groups. All walks of life. Drugs do not discriminate. We need to do better. I'm really lucky my kids didn't do drugs. They didn't go to festivals, but I couldn't imagine lying awake at night wondering if they got home safe, wondering in the morning if they're not home, if there's bad news. We need to support this bill, and I commend the bill to the House.